Alrighty, it's end of here. It's a Thursday video. This may well be the weekend video because there's no trade today to speak of. There's a little bit going on over here on the European side of the Atlantic, but there's nothing going on in the States. So if there's nothing going on in the States, that means there's nothing going on really. Um, the so it's Thanksgiving weekend. It's a funny one to it's a funny one to say here because we don't do Thanksgiving, but so happy Thanksgiving to all you followers over there in the US. I hope you have a blessed weekend ahead of you and a blessed holiday. Okay, so let's get into this market and we'll see what's happening. I said yesterday that I've been chasing this euro dollar here. I've been chasing this B wave high here for ever and a day. I was first of all expecting this three wave, this high into this three waves lower high to be wave B, and then that expanded even further. And then I was expecting this high to be wave B, but it expanded even further. And now here we are contemplating another high for wave B. But false summits is kind of let's say, a characteristic of a B wave. So why do I not expect it to happen here? Okay, so this I am still kind of I'm viewing this as wave B of wave D of a triangle. I do have this alternate count here still kind of hovering in the background, so it's a wave 3, 4, 5, so 5 wave affair in wave C. Still don't favor that, to be honest. So let's see how this B wave works out. I'm looking still for a decline, probably down towards the 114 to 112 area, maybe, for wave C of D. So that gives us 3 waves down into wave D, and then we'd look for 3 waves up into wave E to complete a larger triangle B wave. Even if you were to look at that alternate count, I would still expect a decline. There's no way that this kind of drift higher here is part of a C, or sorry, it's no way it's part of a third wave up. So expect decline next week anyway. So here's the hourly chart. Here you can see just kind of chasing this B wave high here. It could be an ending diagonal B wave here. It's hard to know. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's such a messy pattern. It's really kind of indistinguishable from me at the moment. This does look like a 3-wave kind of a flat correction here. So let's see. We have a low here at 117. Let's just call it 118. If we move impulsively below 118 again, then I'll give that the hat tip for wave 1 of C underway. Okay, so let's look for that over the next few days. Here is cable. This is a 4-hour chart in cable. Again, looking at a B wave high. Again, been chasing these B wave highs forever and a day, and still expecting a C wave decline. There is, an even more bearish, let's say, alternate scenario here. So this could be wave D and E already complete. I don't like the fact that we're so close to that C wave high here. So we'll have to just kind of hold out on that, I think. For next week, I still want to see a 5-wave decline, a nice sharp sell-off to kind of wipe out any sort of kind of entrenched bullishness that's in the market right now. And we need a nice sharp move down towards that kind of 120 level again, to get rid of that, to kind of clear the decks in the market. Okay, so let's move on to dollar yen. We're still holding these higher lows. Any corrections any moves lower that seem to be happening now are in the kind of corrective mode. So I'm reasonably let's say confident. Although dollar yen does know how to wipe that off your face, wipe the smile off your face over and over again. Okay, That's again a triangle B wave completing, and maybe the beginnings of a large move up in the dollar beginning. All right, here's that recent low. So we've got 103.17, some sort of running flat here. Wave 1 high, and then an ABC. Could be a failed fifth wave here, and then a spike higher. I can't read that any other way really. So we have a three-wave move down into wave 2, and then an impulsive move higher. Was looking for that 104.14 kind of first line of defense to hold. We're getting pretty close to that now, so this could be again all part of a 1-2 build up, let's say. If that's the case, well then we'd like to see another spike higher. I was pointing out this 105.12 level here. That's the excuse me, previous wave B, internal wave B of that second wave. So if we spike nicely above that, if we give a nice impulsive move above 105.12, I think that will probably trigger the idea that wave 3 is underway. Okay, let's get on the low side. I do want to see that 103.67 low here. I want to see that hold. Okay, so there's a little bit of a drift going on today. Well, there's a very little actual trading going on. A little bit of move in the futures. Slightly lower, but we kind of drifted lower yesterday anyway. So it looks like we've got a fourth wave, a series of fourth and fifth waves. So we've got wave 3, triangle wave 4, 5, then ABC 4, and now we'll move up into wave 5. So I think we've got a 1-2 pattern. It's probably still in development. Maybe we get another little decline, maybe into the the 29,600 area. If that's the case, that'll complete a three-wave decline, and then we'd look for a third wave up to begin. We're kind of starting to put some targets in here as well in place for this wave 5 of 5. So here we've got wave 1. So the length of the wave 1, the length of wave 1 projected from the wave 4 low, that gives us an initial target of 38.67. And then we've got an upper excuse me, an upper target of 31,924. So that's at the 162% extension of wave 1. Let's just see how that internal third wave fared out. So we came in, we did break above the 162, not so much. So we already have like let's say a qualified extension in here within wave 3. But it does look like we're going to extend again in wave 5. The only rule I wouldn't like to break would be where wave 3 would end up being the smallest wave, and it's not likely that that's going to be, well, it's not going to be the case now anyway, because we have wave 1 currently the smallest wave. Oh, sorry, wave 5 currently the smallest wave. Wave 1 will probably be broken as wave 3 of 5 moves higher. So let's look for that next week. We got a 4-hour chart there. You can see here, this is the kind of long trend channel that, get rid of you guys. This is the long trend channel that's been kind of grinding higher since the March lows. So I've got wave 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, triangle 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 5 of 3 complete. And then an A, B, C, kind of a long drawn out 3-wave pattern. Very, for me anyway, the Uber bear, very misleading and misguiding, because my internal clock is built for the next depression, and that's all I've been looking for. Because the next depression, I think, brings the next war, and I think the next depression will live up to the name, because so far we haven't lived up to the name yet. We haven't seen governments being let go bankrupt and so on and so forth. Well, maybe we won't see it the next time either, but I know here in Ireland we came quite close to a full-blown depression back in 2010 and 11, probably into 2012 as well, to be honest, where the government finances just got completely wiped out, chasing after failed banking institutions. I would expect that again, guys. So, don't wipe that off the table. Just because Tesla's rocketing doesn't mean that there ain't skeletons in the closet here that need to come out. Okay. If this is wave 5 of 5 of 5, then you would see this wave 5 in blue. You would expect something around at least equaling wave 1 here. So let's see how we're faring out there. We've got wave 1. Let's project it from wave 4, the simplest of all. That would give us a top in the region of, get in there. That gives us a top at about, let's say 3,500. I think we'll probably move higher than that. I don't think we'll go all the way to that extension level there, because I think we're doing wave 4 and 5 now. That's 33,250. Well, just because I don't think, it doesn't mean it's not going to happen, but I don't feel that's where this market is going. The upper trend channel line here brings us into about, let's say 31,500, 31,000. And the shorter term count kind of points towards maybe 31,500 as well. So let's see. We'll call 31,500 a reasonable kind of split the difference between these two Fibonacci projections here. Okay, so that's what we will look out for in wave 5. Okay, gold has moved lower this week. Was expecting this kind of cascading move lower into a third wave. For the moment, it looks like that's what we're getting. We had kind of moved sideways correctively in a second wave. So I think this C wave will trace out 5 waves down. It looks like we're well within spitting distance of the end of wave 3 of 5 right now. So it looks like we'll correct slightly higher and then move lower again to complete 5 waves down. That'll give us wave C of 4. You can see the trend channel there is expecting a decline into about, well, let's say, call it 1730 or 17. It could go as far as 1700, but if we get down to 1700, you will be talking to the biggest bull on planet Earth for gold. So what was wave A equaling wave C gives us 1730. If we start hitting these at the lower trend channel, I would say that's pretty much a siren call for to start turning bullish. That's the shofar blowing. That's what that is. So keep that in mind. Keep 1730 in mind, or a nice round figure of 1700. Okay, so we're moving down in wave 3. Let's see how that is faring out so far. There's wave 1 and 2. Off that wave 2 high, that was a pretty strange pattern, let's say. It looks like wave 1 and wave 2. Well, I had kind of shown a slightly different pattern earlier on in the week, so I'm probably talking to myself here slightly, but I think we've got a wave 1, 2, and then an acceleration lower in a wave 3. So I don't think wave 3 is quite finished just yet. We've got a consolidation yesterday and this morning, so I would like to see wave 3 complete 5 waves down, and then maybe we'll correct towards that 1800, 1820 level again, sorry, and then fall again in wave 5 of 3. So it's going to be a series of lower highs as we complete this 5th wave down, or sorry, as we complete this C wave down. We get wave 4 in there, and then we'll move down into wave 5. So again, you can see that 1700 level is kind of jumping off the chart at me there. So we've got 1, 2, extension wave 3, correction wave 4, final impulse down wave 5, and then we should see a nice bounce up towards 1800 again in a 1, 2 pattern. But I think if we get down towards 1700, I think this market becomes incredibly interesting. Even right now, to be honest. I mean, if you're building for the long term, you know, let's hit a wave 3 low, and then you might even start looking at lining up for the upside. Okay, so crude oil has kind of really stumped me over the last few weeks. So here, we'll go to the weekly chart here. This is what this count has been kind of hovering with kind of different variations over the last few years. The initial move down off that 2008 high, that was the beginning of the crash. Let's say that was the all-time high at 150 150 a barrel. It's so funny, when oil was trading at $150 a barrel, everybody and their grandmother thought oil was amazing. Oil was the sure thing. You couldn't have enough of it. And if you pictured an oil barrel, all you could see was dollar signs and shimmering sparkles around it. And then we crashed to negative prices. And if you pictured an oil barrel, all you could see was a black hole and endless losses. But of course, that was a great time to buy. I think we're still tracing out this let's say the capitulation of that bull market in oil. But wave A down, maybe a B wave up here. You could trace a triangle here also. There's a possibility of a triangle here, which doesn't really change much, to be honest. But if we got a wave B high here, then we're moving wave 1 to crash in wave 3 again into that 2016 low. 3-wave correction higher again in wave 4, and then a wave 1, 2, 3 to negative prices, 4. I think we'll get one more move down, wave 5. You can see that kind of, I don't know who was talking about a trend line of truth before, but this declining trend line in crude oil seems to be a trend line of truth now at this point in time as well. Do we get wave 4 pushing up towards that trend line? I don't like the odds of that right now, seeing as we would move right up into the price territory of wave 2. That'll be wave 205, but I suppose I can't rule it out, can we? So I'm still looking for the completion of a fifth wave. This will be a truncated fifth wave because we're probably not going to go to negative. Well, who knows? Are we going to go to negative prices again? Is some idiot trader going to be so loaded up that they have to get rid of it forever, or for any price at all, or to pay to get rid of it? I'd love to have heard that phone call, when that trader had to dump his whatever it was, a couple of tankers or a tanker load of oil, and pay the guy that had sold it to him to take it back again, or pay the shipping company that had it on the ship to buy it, to take it off his hands. Wow, that would have been an interesting phone call. All right, it looks like I'm still banking on a fourth wave, and then we move lower again into a fifth wave. I don't see a new bull market arising in crude oil again. I can't see the driver of that. Apart from pure and utter speculation, maybe. Who knows? We should, let's say, if we get a corrective decline, let's say if it's not impulsive at all, it's just a corrective grind lower, and we move down towards that $25 level again. Maybe then we'll change tack on this one, but I think we're heading in for another decline in crude oil to kind of finish this this bear market in crude. Okay, the S&P. Let's go to the S&P. Here we go again. This is the 5-wave pattern of the March lows. So we've got wave 1, 2, wave 3, 4, and 5. If we go to, let's say, the daily count there, you can see I'm tracking a fifth of a third wave. Now this is the the 100-year wave 3 top of a wave 2 low down back in 1930s or something. So we've got an ABC pattern, wave 4. We've got an ongoing fifth wave up in wave 5 of 5 to complete wave 3, and then we should move lower into wave 4. I think this will be a long, drawn-out affair, years probably. I've shown it very short here for, let's say, convenience purposes. But I think we'll move way down. I think we'll probably challenge the 09 lows again. Okay, so we've got a fifth wave completing. Let's get into the 4-hour chart. We'll see how that fifth wave is tracing out now. Got wave 1, 2, an extended third wave. We've got a flat, well, it'll be running flat correction wave 4, and then a move higher in wave 5. We've got a consolidation over the last few days, or let's say a week or so, in a fourth of fifth wave. So let's get into the hourly chart and I'll show you that. So the S&P kind of, let's say it resembles a triangle a little bit more. Well, it's more definitely a triangle than the pattern in the Dow. So we've got a triangle fourth wave, and we've got a wave 1 and 2 tracing out off that. So it looks like we'll get another dip in wave 2, probably down towards that 3600, 3600, maybe 3590, something like that. So that'll be 3 waves down in wave 2, and we should rally again in wave 3 and 4 and 5. Again, initial target up around 37.22. That's for wave 1 green equals wave 5 in green, and a kind of stretch target there up around 38.20 if wave 5 in green reaches that kind of fib extension of wave 1. But again, you know, I don't want to disappoint and say that I'm not the uber bear here, but I am. So just watching out for another top seems to be my job. Okay, let's move on to silver. Silver's not finished here yet. There is the kind of slight, there's a reasonable count here for a triangle tracing out. You can see those trend lines there that I've shown. This triangle here would be wave A, B, C, and we get D and E, maybe. Or you could go wave A down, then A, B, C, D, E, and that would be wave B, and then we'd sell off again. For the moment, I'm just sticking with what I've got. Let's say that the kind of little consolidation that we've seen over the last day or two is not very encouraging in terms of moving back higher into a complete triangle, but we'll see how that goes. Get into the, well, first of all, the main count is calling for a third wave decline. We're moving along in that. I'll get into the hourly count here to show you what that's coming out like. So we have wave 1 down, wave 2 up. Here's where the count gets a little strange. We've got wave 1, A, B, C, 2, and then wave 1, 2. So we've got a series of 1, 2, 3, a nested series of 3 there, impulse waves to the downside. So if we're going to go into a third of a third of a third next week, that means we really need to accelerate lower. We probably break that 22, push down in towards 21 again, to complete wave 3, and then we've got a fourth and a fifth wave. So it seems like we've got a little bit to go on this one, and we should wait, I think, for another definitely a week, probably even more, maybe even 2 weeks before this. Yeah, maybe even towards the end of December, actually, for this C wave to complete. If we've got the 4-hour chart here again, it's probably going to bring us out to, where do we go? Yeah, the middle of December maybe, to complete wave C of 2. If we start hitting that 18, 19 handle again, I think silver will be a serious contender there for a bullish rally to begin. So right now we're still tracking the C wave down, so let's see how that develops. Oh, Bitcoin. Oh, would you look what's just happened to Bitcoin? Oh, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Here's the chart I released last night. Oh, that's quite a step down, eh? Tell me that's not looking pretty impulsive, you know. So we hit 16.2, say, call it 16.3 off a 19.4. So that's $3,000. Whoever bought up here over this week, oh boy, they're feeling quite sick today. Um, I've been tracking this fifth wave top. No doubt it has extended, but there's no reason. There was no reason to, in my mind, there was no reason to call this anything but a blow off top. Let's get into the 4-hour chart here. Oh boy, that's so funny. I was looking at the charts earlier, and I didn't go and look at Bitcoin this morning. I just thought it was kind of hovering around where the highs again. So you could call that a pretty serious rejection, I think. Now, if you go back to the daily chart, this is the C wave that I've been talking about. Now, the C wave went absolutely vertical, so I'll grant you that. C wave went vertical. It blew out above that kind of 15,000 level that I was looking at for wave C to complete. So we tried, or whoever was pushing, whichever whale was coming in and buying and buying and buying in Bitcoin, tried to push to a new all-time high. Did not happen. And someone dumped this morning and has caused a bit of a crash in the market. I still think we've got 3 waves up. It's a large degree B wave. And with a bit of luck, I think now we have begun the great sell-off. If the great sell-off in wave C is now getting underway, oh boy, this is going to be probably the mother of all crashes, because we'll take out the wave A low, no doubt. That 3,000 low is going to break if wave C gets underway right now. I think we get all the way down, below sub $1,000 again in Bitcoin. It may even be disbanded. It may even be made illegal. We'll see. Especially if we get a socialist government in the US, or after the screams and cries. Yeah, let's get into the short-term chart again and just see. I think you can kind of pick out a nice impulse of acceleration there in a third wave, slight consolidation there early this morning, and then a nice fat finger lower again. If we're calling that wave 1, hey, why not? Let's call that wave 1. Now, here's an interesting thing. Wave 1, if it is wave 1, if we don't push out again to new highs, but we'll see. If it is wave 1, then what do we expect? Well, we'd expect a lower high in wave 2. So if we've got 5 waves down now, that lower high probably push up towards 18, maybe 18.5 or something like that. Maybe we're in around this consolidation here, maybe in towards that pivot level there within that triangle. So we've got somewhere about 18.3, let's say, in 3 waves. If we get a 3-wave lower high, oh boy, that will prove to be a pretty significant sell signal. So what do we expect from here? Well, let's see if we can build a corrective lower high in wave 2. If the market doesn't give out completely on Friday and just throw a temper tantrum and just obliterate itself on Friday. Just a point of interest right there on the daily chart. I was looking at this upper trend channel line here between 13.8. That's the previous wave A high. So between 13.8 and about 15, where this trend channel kind of came up to be filled. Well, it's actually 16. So I was looking at that, let's say 14 to 16 level there for wave C to top out. Now we did blow off to almost new all-time high, but this spike lower today really has almost wiped out, yeah, pretty much wiped out everything over the initial target that we had. So that's pretty interesting, isn't it? Okay, so I titled a video a few weeks ago, "What's going on in Bitcoin?" I think I'll be titling something like, "What just happened in Bitcoin?" Is this the end of the bull market in Bitcoin? It ended pretty rapidly, pretty abruptly the last time. You could see the vertical move and then the initial, fat sell-off and a corrective lower high, and then the kind of real destruction began. So initial sell-off. Let's see if we can build a lower high. Obviously, maybe there's some sort of cult that will jump on board here again, and try and push it out to a new all-time high. Let's see. Let's see if we can get a bearish lower high next week. That'd be very interesting. Okay. I'm just going to run through the short-term charts here. For our charts, I've been trying to cap off a fourth wave, or seeing if we can cap off a fourth wave in the FTSE. But before we move down into wave 5, this is either wave C of 4 as a flat, or it's wave C of wave 4 as a, or sorry, wave E. Yeah, C of 4 of a triangle. So let's see how that fares out over the next few weeks. In both counts, you'd expect a decline into wave D, or a decline, most likely down towards that 5,700 level again. If it's a triangle, then we'll bounce again. Let's move on. Here's the DAX. The DAX has not made a new a new high. We're still looking at the possibility of either a B wave. Yeah, most likely a B wave off the March lows because of this very large flat nowhere trade throughout the whole summer. So that looks like an internal B wave, and maybe this is wave C, either complete or topping out right now. Maybe we've got a small fourth wave in here. I think that's what I was kind of looking at. Triangle fourth wave, and maybe we move up in a final fifth wave to complete wave B, and then we move lower again. Okay, the Nasdaq, we're still kind of, it's iffy territory in the Nasdaq. It could well be still a triangle, and then we push out to a new high. If the triangle, then that's an A, B, C, or maybe C wave is still underway, C, D, E, and then a new high. Or this is wave 1 down and we have a wave 2 completing, and we're wave 1 and 2 again. So again, we could be looking at a nested series of 1-2s. If we fall again, let's say we'll have to break out below this internal level here. If we fall below the 11,000 mark again, that would raise the probability of a turn already in the Nasdaq. So that's an interesting one. I am actually counting it that way on the short-term charts. We've got a wave 1, a long expanded flat wave, or flat wave 2, so A, B, C, wave 2, and then a 1 A, B, C, 2 possibility. So watch out for a possible third wave. Maybe keep that on your watch list for next week. Okay, that was it for this week. Thank you, lads and ladies and guys and gals. Maybe I get back it'll probably be an early video next week before anything happens. There's a half-day trade on Friday. It's not likely that a whole lot will be going on, but I'll be doing an update on Friday evening anyway. Okay, so for you guys on the websites and gals on the website, I will see you tomorrow evening. So that's Friday evening for the Friday update. And then for everybody else in the wide earthly world, have a great Thanksgiving, all you brothers and sisters over there in the States. And we'll catch you back next week for another one of these long drawn out chart, what you call it, deep dives. Okay. God bless you all. Be good, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye. God bless.